Preston Thorpe is a self-taught software engineer working remotely for a San Francisco-based tech company.
I guess I have an advantage because I have very little distractions.
Thorpe also happens to be an inmate at the Mountain View Correctional Facility in Maine.
I have a purpose now. Like prior, I had nothing going for me, and I had been a drug dealer for years.
Thorpe is one of about 40 residents here working remotely for various industries. Across the country, at least 3 other states, including Kansas, Ohio, and California, allow some inmates to work remotely. Maine is at the forefront, according to the Alliance for Higher Education in Prison, requiring inmates to first complete higher education and comply with a case plan set by social workers.
We've taken it to the next level where we, allow and encourage individuals access to the internet.
That work netting at least one inmate a 6-figure salary. But per state law in Maine, after taxes, 25% of the earnings are put towards paying restitution to victims. 10% is set aside for prison room and board.
Why should someone in the prison system be allowed to work outside the prison walls, so to speak, and make a 6-figure salary?
If people really care about victims and survivors of crime that are owed money, the way that we do that is we provide meaningful work for individuals that are incarcerated so they can pay down those debts.
Thorpe earning enough to buy a home.
This is amazing. This is amazing for the people that are in prison for non-violent crimes, non-sexual crimes, people that got, drug charges, or people that just did stupid stuff, robbery or whatever. I like this. This is what prison is supposed to be. Prison is supposed to be a rehabilitation center, so to put these guys back on the right track. And they're teaching them things that they can actually apply in the real world when they get out, but he's making money while in prison. I like this. You in prison, you're supposed to come out better. A lot of people come out of prison worse, don't know what to do with themselves. But you got guys that are willing to make their lives better, and also, too, they're able to make meaningful work and more money while in prison. Why is this a bad thing? We need more programs like this because he's a data engineer. I'm pretty sure even if he got 6 figures, he's getting well paid, well below what the average thing is. But like he said, I'm in prison. I have way less distractions. I'm here to work. I'm focused on the work. So what is good is that he gets to make money. If he owes money to any victims or anything like that, 25% of his income goes to that. I'm pretty sure the state of Maine or the prison center gets a little percentage as well. It's a win-win situation for somebody, especially that's not a nonviolent, crime person, right? Or nonviolent prisoner. This is great, but this is what prison is supposed to be. Put the prisoners in a situation where they actually can learn and make something better of themselves. So when they get out, they're not thinking about going back to their previous lifestyle to get money. The reason why a lot of guys can't adjust to the real life is because of money. Money solves everything. I hate to say it. But when these guys get out, they have a skill, they already have a job. They're just going to get a place and just get back and do the same thing they've been doing. This is what keeps these prisoners from repeating. I know prison is a big business. I know. But the prisons are starting to figure it out. Well, they can work while they're here and we can still make money off of them. So I definitely respect it. I definitely understand it. Why not? As a prisoner, if you're doing good and you serving your time well, you staying out of trouble, why not get this reward and learn something, learn a skill, a real skill, so when you get out, you're good, you're locked in. I don't have no problems with this. This is actually good. More prisons should do this because there's a lot of able-bodied people that can work and have a meaningful job that are just got into prison and they're trying to stay out of trouble. There's a lot of people in there. We as America have to take advantage of that. They usually do that with the fire departments, right? They do wildfire firefighting, which is cool for guys that, in a straight and narrow and to make a little extra bit of cash. But we can do this in the data world and the tech world as well. There's a lot of very smart criminals, if you haven't noticed. They're very smart, and you just got to put them in a situation where they use that energy for good and not bad. But for a guy to be in prison to make almost, to make 6 figures, that's impressive. He's locked in, no distractions. I just want to do this and go back to my cell. There's nothing wrong with that. It's pretty cool that this is happening, that they're actually helping prisoners be better. To be honest, a prison is supposed to be a real rehabilitation center. So if they're not rehabbing, you're just using them for money as a prison, then are you really a rehabilitation center? Probably not.
If I was not paying him market rate, I think he wouldn't be able to do that. He's doing quality work, by the way, that people with 20 years of experience can't do.
Thorpe is on the verge of finishing his prison sentence, knowing he'll leave here financially stable and employed. Ryan Hopkins is about halfway through his 42-year sentence. After earning a bachelor's and master's degree behind bars, he now provides remote tech support.
I created this system with AI to create the tickets and all that. Then I report everything here on Slack.
Hopkins will be in his 60s by the time he's released, working now to fund that eventual future.
Now I feel like I've started my life in here. The transition's going to be much softer.
Thorpe's outlook on life much different than when he first arrived.
I had pretty much like resigned myself to that I would never have like a family or, like a normal kind of career, and all those things are like within reach now.
I want to give them opportunity to be successful and to give back to the community inside and outside of the facility.
This is really good. I think if you are in prison or you're trying to turn your life around, you're trying to make some money, I think this is a great opportunity. We as America has to look at under every rock for people that's willing to work. I guarantee there's a lot of people in prison that's willing to work and do this. With our society, with this new generation coming up, they don't want to work. So we have to find the people to work and not have to rely on immigration. That's the reason why we have immigration, is because this generation coming up don't want to work. So they keep using immigrants to keep bringing them in because generations, coming up don't want to work, or generations now don't want to work, but they're willing to fight for all these religious issues and all these political issues, but you're not willing to fight for your life and be able to go ahead and go to work. That's the crazy thing that we see today. Out of all the energy that people put into politics, religion, all these things, put that energy into working. But this is a great play. You found workers that's willing to work, and to be honest, they can't go nowhere. So all they do is focus on work. We have to get back to that. The job, if you have a job, you need to focus on that and build your money up that way. Stop worrying about things that you have no control over. If people stop being so damn nosy and up in everybody's business and trying to be the best political person or the best religious scholar and just worry about working, we'll be further off as a country. We have to bring back work, but finding and using people that are already in jail or in prison, they don't have nothing else to do anyway. So the good ones and the smart ones were like, let me learn so I can make some money. Let me learn so when my transition is a lot softer, I'm not just trying to do anything for money. I think it's a win-win for everybody. It's smart. Maine is smart. We have a lot of prisons in Texas. We have people building prisons in Alabama, putting billions of dollars into it. Let's use those prisons and then be able to get another workforce and be able to help America. We got to keep the money in America. That's what we have to do. We got to stop trying to outsource our help and now we need to bring in people that are in prison that are smart enough, that didn't do anything too crazy, but at least they're willing to work. It's all about finding people that have the attitude to work. If you don't have the attitude to work, then what you doing? But I really like this. I feel like a prison is supposed to be a rehabilitation center. And if they can use these services, everybody gets money. The prisoner gets real legit money. The prison will get money because they get a percentage. If there are victims, they get restitution and money from that. It's just and then also too, the prisoner or the inmate has a better sense on life, and he understands that I can have a better life just by putting in the work here in prison. That's what it's supposed to be. These guys are supposed to come out with something that they have, a skill or already a job, to where that transition is softer. So shout out to Maine. It's very smart that they're doing this. Hopefully more states will follow this, because there's a lot of people in these prisons doing absolutely nothing but do want to work.